Hello guys, thanks for tuning in. It's Malagant here, and I'll be showing off the veteran Wayrest series run as a Templar healer point of view, and I hope you enjoy it. It was coming as a request actually that I should show Wayrest run, especially if you would like to see any other veteran dungeon at all. Please leave a comment, and I'll be doing it for sure. And I hope you enjoy it. So, alright, so this is going to be the first boss. And it's pretty simple. The only thing that you need to pay attention is obviously the puddles on the ground, and don't forget that they are spawning on two random locations. Well, two person of the group. So they're spawning on your location. You can control them. The other important thing is those statues. You need to click the statues to save one of your teammates. So whenever the boss channels and life grips someone, you are supposed to go and click the statue, and preferably it's not going to be one of the DPS or the healer. Oh, it's not going to be the tank or the healer, so it's supposed to be one of the DPS saving the channeled player, so that the tank can continue his job and then the healer can continue his job, and you get the point. So you see this is the channel, and that is the save. This is pretty much the fight. So I want to stay close to the puzzle on the ground so that the next spawn point is like on top of the other, as you can see. This is pretty much the fight. Hope you will have an easy time. It's not a good positioning the tank is taking. He's whining because there's a statue in the freaking middle. This is actually not one of our best attempts. Seriously, this is a miserable view. But no matter, I got this. Huh? Can you click it? You have legs. You should read this chat. And I shouldn't lose my DPS. I think I have a debuff. I'm not really sure actually. It's an okay idea to place yourself somewhere logical and then have someone standing close to the statue. So as you can see, clicking the other statues is actually not enough. You need to click the one that's closing. I don't know. As far as I know, clicking one statue is enough, but I think you need to click the closer one. Right, so this was the first boss. It's not so hard, it's not the toughest one in this place. And I think the fourth one is the toughest one. Okay, so this is going to be the second boss. This fight is obviously favoring ranged DPS. And well, in a perfect world, you want 3 players like away from the boss at all times while the tank is tanking, and then stepping away when the boss is whirling. Kind of. It's kind of a whirling, you'll see. It's a pretty easy fight. A little DPS check, but not so much. You want the buff on your tank almost all the time. The armor buff, as I explained on my healing video. Which is the combat prayer. that's the whirlwind, and those are the fires. The reason that you want to stay away, if you paid attention, he actually yells after the whirlwind effect, and the yell is about like 20 meters if I'm not wrong, the range, and if you're in the range of the yell, you're gonna get feared, and the fear is most likely gonna put you into the fire. But the fire is not hitting so hard actually, you can still recover even if you fuck up with that. But if you have enough DPS, you'll be able to kill the boss before getting out of position, getting really close to the boss, as I said, just like in this. So the third boss is an optional boss, and it's pretty close to the second boss actually, so it's over there. It does have some drops, so it's worth going, and it's the easiest boss in the dungeon. It's just almost tank and spank actually. It's always worth to use synergies, except if it's Purify. If it's Purify, it's better to use it wisely. So in this group, as a Templar, I don't really need to spam backlash because someone else is already using it all the time. It is a little better for the healer to use it because then DPS has one more spell to fit in, which is actually DPS itself, and you already have backlash coming from your healer, especially on easy fights. You can ask on the hard fights for your DPS to cast. But this boss is just simple. He has some type of a frontal prone attack, and he has his ads channeling him some kind of power attack, like power giver or whatever, but he can kill the ads. And even if you don't, it's pretty easy, so it's fine. The ads are actually healing him, if you paid attention. Okay, so this is going to be the fourth boss, if you count the optional boss as a boss, and this is the most challenging one, I would say. Yeah, especially if your group is yeah, the DPS is a little low. So this is the setup that I like using. The things that you need to pay attention, especially if you're Templar healer, this fight is going to be favoring you over the other healers. Every time the boss starts AoE, he teleports to the middle of the room, which is about here where I am right now, and he takes about 1.5 second gap. Excuse me, then he starts AoE. During this time you need to get ready. You need to buff your group with spell resistance, and then you need to start spamming the normal ability. One more thing that you need to pay attention is your normal heal is the one that you're going to use for this fight. It is 10 yards only, 10 meters. On the first AoE, I would suggest to use your ultimate. Here we go. Because you want to ultimate, and then you want to try to heal, and then ultimate again, so that you use your ultimate as much as you can. And don't forget to run with mana potions, use them on cooldown please. I am running with mana food also. Okay, the second AoE is the one that you try to spam and keep alive. It's gonna come really soon. There we go. Just in time. So if we go to the third area, I have an ultimate again, so the fight is cake for me from now on. Moreover, with the tactics, he spawns ads, and the ads have has some type of a direct frost spell that you can dodge if you pay attention. Most of the time you won't be able to pay attention, but it's healable if not everyone fails at the same time. So 1-2 people failing it is it's kind of okay, it's healable. Right, so here we come with the last boss of Wayrest. It's a little challenging also, especially if the fight continues, because especially the bat phases are a little tricky sometimes if you're unlucky with aggro. I think they're going to pull the zombies while we are fighting just because they want the achievements, but I think the achievement is bugged out. But you don't need to pull the cubes, they have nothing to do with the boss fights. The boss fight is, there's a black AoE. The melee guy is tankable, while the other one is not, the archer. And the melee guy has a frontal cone AoE, as you can see. And the archer is just putting a dot, and the dot is hitting insane. It's not dispellable. I just used it, didn't dispel, as you can see. I'm still taking damage, and the damage becomes harder to heal the more up it is, I think. But other than that, there's nothing else in this fight. Oh, there's a transition into bats. This one. And during the bat phase, you try to stay away and always on the move and in a circular movement, so that you kind of avoid the frontal cone AoE of the bats. If you happen to get the frontal cone AoE from the bats, it is some type of a mini stun with silence, if I'm not wrong. The first bat phase, to my experience, is always easy. The more bat phases it is, the harder it gets. So it's some type of a DPS race actually. But I might be completely off right here, because this is the lowest DPS group I have ever been in, so yeah. If you're in a worse group than this one, then it might be a little worse for you. Hope not though. So I have the debuff here, since I'm black, as you can see. I want to use my ultimate sometime. Hoping that they're standing inside it. Sometimes they don't pay attention. Someone else used the Impale. It's really important to use synergies, especially the tank. Impale and chains, I think. So I want mana, so I also attack. That one's down. Alright, there we go. Oh, I have loot. Okay, am I gonna die? Nope, it's gone. Let's see the loot. Right, so that will be it from me for this time. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed and that was something that is useful at least. And I'd like to see you next time as well, so take care. Till next time.